Hello. We are happy. We know that you are watching us this afternoon, this morning, depending on the time that you're watching us. This is OceanTVLive.com. Today we are in Darwin, Top End, the capital city of Northern Territory. We have assigned ourselves a mission to bring you good news because we are sick and tired of bad news on TV. And this is Made in Africa, a program produced by OceanTVLive.com and presented by Kaluka Sister Marek.
Okay.
So, today I'm bringing you good news. And the good news that we're talking about is about some awards. Telstra Business Award that happened last week. And some of our people were part of that award. I don't want to give away too much. I would like all of us to discover my guest of honor this afternoon.
Oh, come on. Okay, now we want to talk about life. What is life to you?
Freedom and family.
Freedom and family. That's what life is to you.
Yeah.
That's very good. That's very, very good. Okay, so what do you know about love?
My brothers and my daddy and my mommy give me kisses when I go to bed. And they give me hugs.
So that kisses and hugs, that's what love to you. Okay. What do you know about money?
Money.
Yeah.
People spend it on stuff, and they use it to buy stuff for their daughter when they have their birthday and their son.
Oh, so when you have money, you buy stuff for your daughter and your son on their birthday?
OceanTVLive.com is the best. OceanTV.
Okay, we are back. As you can see that I've got a person besides me, and I would like to welcome her. She's taken time out to come and talk to us. The good news that I was talking about is about Telstra Business Women's Award. And Mahongo, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Reese.
Okay, thanks very much for accepting our invitation. I know that you are a busy woman. And but because, for people who are following us now, would you like to introduce yourself so that they know who you are and what do you do and the rest of it, everything you'd like to share with them?
Certainly. My name is Mahongo. I am very, very privileged to actually be honored to be one of the finalists for the Telstra Business Women's Awards this year. I run my own business. It's called Born to Win Consulting. So I'm a personal and professional development trainer as well as a speaker, and I do a little bit of coaching on the side.
Born
to Win Consulting.
Consulting.
Yes.
That's the name of your business.
That is the name of my
What is the story behind the name? Is there any story behind that name?
Yes, so I do believe that everybody was born to be a winner, and sometimes people do encounter different challenges in life, and sometimes we tend to doubt ourselves and think, am I really ever going to be successful in life? So I named my business Born to Win Consulting so that it can be a conversation starter. So that every time someone reads it, they go, oh my God, what is that?
What is that? Born to Win.
Yes, Born to Win.
That got me. It's like Born to Win.
Yes.
Okay. So you consulting, you said you're a business coach? Or
Yes, so I'm a trainer,
a coach, yeah.
and a consultant at the same time.
How did you get into that?
How did I get into that?
Why do I have to do to become a coach and a consultant like yourself?
Yes, you just have to really be passionate about people and about helping other people succeed. And that's where I really started. I remember as a young child, I was always frustrated, like you, to see so many negative stories about Africa. And that was a very big burden for me. And I remember asking my father, why is this man, because my father at one time when I was about 6 years old, he had employed a man who was from Angola to be our babysitter. And I said, why is a gentleman like him going to be our babysitter?
Yeah.
Then my father said, look, he's running away from war in Angola. He was an engineer in Angola.
In Angola, but he became a babysitter
in Zambia.
Yeah, so you're from Zambia?
I am from Zambia, so he became a babysitter And my parents offered him this job because it was the only thing that he could do. He didn't have any English. He had a bit of Portuguese. So he taught us a bit of Portuguese. He taught me how to count in Portuguese. And I was always burdened to say, if I grow up, I want to help people who have gone through things get up again and realize that they're still going to be a winner in life, no matter what has happened to them.
No, that's very good and very passionate. We'll get back to that. Let's talk about Telstra NT Business Women's Award.
Yes.
Okay, how did it come about? Did someone nominate you? What happened for you to get in there?
Yeah, so as you know, Telstra is one of our, it is actually the biggest telecommunications company here in Australia.
Yeah.
They are big on the internet and anything that is about, you know, being on the phone or working on the computer. Telstra is normally the go-to company for most of us here in Australia. So there was a morning that I woke up and a lot of people laugh at me, and this is something that I say, okay, do not do it, but I do wake up at 4 a.m. every morning to start my day, because that's the day when I'm really fresh and I just feel switched on. So I found an email in my mailbox that I had been nominated for the Telstra Business Women's Awards, and I was like, oh, spam. And then I said, oh, look, wait a minute. I looked at the name of the person who had nominated me. This was someone that I considered to be way, way up there, very, very successful woman.
Okay.
And she said, Mahongo, I think you've got what it takes. I think I've seen what you do, and I'd like people to recognize what you do. So after that nomination, then I started getting more emails from Telstra Business Women's Awards, telling me what to do,
what to do next,
steps, and it is very, very involving, but very rewarding at the same time.
Okay, so let's just go back to when you saw the email.
Yeah.
What went through your mind? You know, just by being nominated by someone that you're holding in high esteem.
Yeah.
So what emotions did you display, and what were you thinking?
Yeah, I was actually very humbled, because I was just thinking that I was just doing this little thing that, you know, people were not even going to be aware of. I was just so busy in the background. But for this woman to say that I was actually doing something that was making other people's lives better, and she wanted me to be part of the Telstra Business Women's Award so I could inspire other people, that was very humbling. And it just gave me that reflection that, you know what, you've got a very big responsibility to be a role model to young girls and to young boys, and to help other people in whatever aspect of their life. So.
Okay, so now take us through the steps when you start receiving emails from Telstra Business Award, a Women's Business Award, and what steps did you go through until the last day? Can you just briefly, what did you have to do? Did you have to do anything?
I had to do a lot.
Okay.
There's a lot of writing involved, and it's all in English, and this is a submission you have to make. Once you've been nominated, you've got to then make the formal application, and you've got to answer all these questions, which are beautiful. I mean, there's a lot involved, but it's just a beautiful moment for you to reflect on what you've done and what's got you to where you are. I got that moment where I could even think about what my father used to tell me as a young girl. I used to think of all the struggles that I went through. Because sometimes when people see you get to this point, they don't realize that you could have been through other things.
Exactly. They just think that you're just so lucky in life that you happen to be here today.
Yes, exactly. And some people think that I even go to bed in my high heels shoes and I always have makeup on, but they've not seen the tears. You know, a lot of frustration behind everything that I've done. But the Telstra Business Women's Awards actually gave me that opportunity to sit down and reflect, because I have gone through some very, very nasty things. Before I started my business, I had actually contracted an illness from a client, so that kept me down for nearly 12 months. I was on very, very heavy medication. I didn't know what would happen to my career. And in the job that I had, which was a recruitment job, people were thinking, oh, she's actually the golden girl of this company that I had helped grow. And I had been there for almost 3 years. But when I wanted to apply for a top job within that company, my boss actually said I didn't have the personality to be in that role. And yet I was the most qualified, the most experienced. And all those things had kept me down. And when I was nominated for the Telstra Business Women's Awards, I realized, you know what, there are people that recognize
People
what I
can
have
see
done.
what you're doing, even though
Yes.
that some people who are close to you don't even see it.
Yes, and they put you down.
Yeah, they put you down. What you do actually help other people to, you know, realize potential in life. So going back to that job, when they didn't give you a chance to have a higher position, is it the motivation to start your own business, or how did you start your own business?
Well, partly that was
Okay.
the motivation, because sometimes when you want to start your own business, as you know, it's not that easy. In Australia, it's a foreign country, and it's very expensive to live here. And if you've got children like I do, you're thinking, oh, is this too risky? Because there is no security.
No security, exactly.
And I actually didn't have the money to start that business. So when this man told me, you don't have the personality for this job that you're applying for, I went home and I felt really bad. And my husband said, you know what? This is your opportunity
To start.
Remember, you've always said you want to do something different, and if this organization is not giving it to you, you know what? Put on your high heels and go and keep this money in his rear end and start your own thing.
Oh, that's
And I only had about maybe $35 in my bank account. I was very broke.
Okay, so I think that's very inspiring story, and I would like to let our viewers and listeners that Mahongo's got a story to share with us, because this is inspiring, especially someone who didn't have a penny in his in her pocket, but she went on and started a business. Okay, give us advice. What did you do, and what can we do, or some other people who are following us, if they like to do the same thing, what would you advise them?
Take the risk. A lot of people are afraid, particularly being afraid of the unknown. Most of the things that we fear, we don't even have any evidence that those things are true or that they exist. So I didn't have money at the time I started business, and maybe it was the way it was meant to be, because if I was too comfortable, I would never have started.
Yeah.
Or I would have said, look at me, I'm very smart, I had all the money, I had a good start in life. But the reason I didn't have money was because the job that I had within that same company had been, well, the contract had finished. And I was,
So you were made redundant or somehow?
not really, so I was put in a lower position,
Okay.
which meant that I had lost more than 21,000 a
Of your
year
salary.
in my income. So
Okay.
going back lower, and I had a lot of medical bills as a result of the illness that I
Illness,
had
yeah,
contracted.
exactly.
So my husband and I, we tried everything, but we just got broke and broke and broke. So I had no money, and then I said, how do I start? So I had to go to the bank to ask for a loan.
For loan, yeah.
And at that time, I had braces on
Oh, yeah, on
my
your teeth.
because I was trying to straighten my teeth, as you do. So I went to the bank, and I'm like, oh my God, this is really embarrassing. So I go to the bank manager, and I said, I'm asking for a loan. And she said, oh, what would you like? What sort of business would
So
you
you
like
end
to
up-
start?
Yeah.
And I said, I want to be a motivational speaker. You know, I couldn't even speak properly because
Oh, yeah, because of the braces
in
in
my
your-
mouth. So I was like, oh my God, this is so stupid. But she said, oh, you know what, Mahongo, things would look better with regards to this application if you put a bit more money in your bank account. I said, well, if I had the money in my bank account, do you think I'd be sitting here
asking for loan?
money? So anyhow, she rang me later on and said, we're going to give you the loan, and we won't give you the whole lot that you asked for, but we'll
that's
give
some,
you a little
yeah.
bit.
Mm.
And I had to go to America to get one of my accreditations to start my business.
Okay, so to be a coach, you have to be accredited by some professional bodies.
Not really. In
Yeah.
Australia, it's actually not something that you have to do, but for me, I believe in credibility.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love to have respect for my clients. I really wanted to make sure that what I was doing
So you
was
just wanted the credential to your
Yes.
name, so that when you speak to someone, they know that you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I wanted to be educated and to be surrounded with some credible companies, or by some credible companies, so that people could then have the confidence that I knew what I was doing. And I'm so glad that I did it. It cost
Yeah.
me so much, but the sacrifice was so worth it, because I see the results that I get through my clients, and they come back and tell
come
me,
back
and
to
they
you.
refer their friends to me. So I just feel I'm really blessed.
Okay, that's really good. So now let's talk as an African woman
Yeah.
in Australia, in the world of business.
Mm-hmm.
What challenges did you encounter, or did you encounter?
It's interesting because my parents told me that they were not going to bring me up as a woman or
yeah.
as an African, but they were going to bring me up as a human being. So if I wanted something in life, I had to fight for it, I had to work hard for it. My parents were very big believers in hard work.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, but sometimes I actually forget that I'm an African.
Or a woman.
Because for me, it is just, you know what, I will go for it.
Yeah.
If someone doesn't want to work with me because I'm an African or I'm a woman, that's their problem. Maybe they're not my client.
Yeah.
Having said that, I'm not going to bury my head in the sand and think that every other African woman has had it easy.
Yeah.
It is not easy.
Yeah.
But what I like to do is to encourage people, do not give up. Just keep going for it. That's why it's very important to get yourself educated, to get some credentials around you, get someone to mentor you and to coach you. Sometimes the mistake we make as Africans or as migrants is we come to a place and we don't want to mix with the people.
The people,
And other people other than the people from our community, and that restricts us. But I'm the kind of person that would be the only African or the only woman in a room, and I'm quite comfortable with that. And I've had a lot of networks, and it is through my networks that I've actually had a lot of customers and people referring to me. The more they see me, the more they know, okay, maybe she knows what she's talking about.
Exactly.
And I'm always asking for feedback. I've never abandoned my African community or other communities. I'm always saying, come on, tell me, how can I do this better? What should I do to improve myself? How can I help you? And I think those are some of the things we need to be doing to get ourselves to where we want to go.
That's really good. But let's go back. When I was organizing this interview, I was just looking through the SMS and and messenger stuff. You mentioned about some assignment at university.
Yes.
You're a student?
I am a student. I know it. It's laughable. It's crazy.
Come on, tell me. So you're a wife, a mother, businesswoman, student. You wake up at 4 a.m.?
Yes. Yes.
How do you do that?
You have to make some decisions in life. I know, it's so funny. I actually used to think my mother was crazy.
Yeah.
And I haven't even told her that, I got some of her craziness, because my mother was such a hard worker. She always woke up at 4:30 or 5 to start the day back home in Africa. She was a teacher. Even now, she's 71, but she still works. And I said, you're crazy. And she had 8 of us.
And how many have you got?
I've got 2, and I'm not having any more. I'm done. So I have to, for me, I believe in setting goals, and I believe in scheduling, I believe in planning, and I know that we all only have 24 hours in a day. But
so because a lot of people struggle to juggle things in 24 hours.
Yeah.
But from what you've said, I think you've got some other stuff that you do.
Yeah.
You're a mother, you're a wife, you're a business person, you're a student, you might have some other community commitment, church, and all these other things. So how do you fit all that in 24 hours? Just some practical advice for people who are struggling with that. What would you tell them?
It's amazing that people can actually have the whole day to watch reality TV, but when you tell them to, and I'm not insulting anyone, there's some genuine women out there that are really having it tough, but what I'm trying to talk about is that we always have time to do the things that matter in life. I believe in setting my priorities right, and I would never sacrifice anything for my family.
And the rest of it, everything you'd like to share with them?
Not my business, not anything. Even when I'm traveling, I actually cook in advance. So when I know that I'm going to be away for a week or 2 weeks, I'll cook as many meals as I can for my boys, and I'll freeze them. And all my husband has to do is steam some vegetables or cook some rice or bake some bread, and then they have their meal. And a lot of other things that I do in my life, everything is scheduled, including the time that I spend just having fun with my friends, going out and just having a laugh. Like last night I was at Kingpin. And my husband and I, we've just chosen that we'll never grow. We want to continue dating. So we take our kids to Kingpin, but we also get involved in playing the games. I was on the motorbikes, and we did a few other fun stuff. So I do believe that it's possible in life to fit the most important things to you, whether it's your family, whether it's your work, you can always schedule those things. I don't do everything in one day, but I have days on which I do something, including days on which I study. And I'm very respectful when I tell people, I'm really sorry, I can't make it today, but I can do this at this time.
That's at the time, okay? Yeah. That's really good. So now let's get back to your business. Born to Win Consulting. So how big are you now? Do you employ staff or all by yourself? What is your office setting like?
Yeah, so it's very interesting because I told my husband I don't really want to have full-time staff until I'm in business for about maybe 3.5 years.
Yeah.
So this is like my second year, and I didn't expect my business to grow within a short period of time, because now I've expanded to Alice Springs. So I do run training and some programs in Alice Springs.
Yeah.
And then one of my licensing companies have asked me to be looking after Western Australia, so I might be going to Perth. So if you're in Perth, just look out for me. Might be coming to a place very close to you. And they've also asked me to try and consider doing something in New Zealand and Southeast Asia. Here is the trick.
That's big. You're getting big. Very big.
I'm still growing, so it is.
So what is the trick?
Yeah, so what I've done is, because a lot of what I deliver is licensed material, and getting those licenses is not cheap. What I do is I surround myself with support staff so that I can just do the parts that they cannot do. So I do have someone who comes in if I need someone to be my PA, take care of my calls and other things like that. And I have my husband who looks after my books. He's a very, very good accountant, so I married well. And then everybody gets involved. My children, sometimes they'll just enter data for
you and stuff
in the systems. But I do have a lot of other support people that come in as casuals.
Oh yeah, so basically when you need them.
When I need them, yes. A lot of other things I do, like the admin, it's not so much. It's very small. I can easily do it. I still do my own marketing. But with other licensing companies getting involved, they do the marketing.
They're doing the marketing of their products.
And I just go and deliver.
Yes. Okay. So, what is, are you in RTO? Is it RTO?
No, I'm not a registered training organization, thank God, because there's a lot of auditing that goes with that. So at the moment, I'm running a program for migrants. It's a pre-employment program.
Yeah.
This is about teaching migrants to be confident, helping them understand the Australian workplace culture. So I've got 60 migrants that I'm training, mentoring and coaching until next year, June. But the way I do that is that there is also an accredited component of this training.
Of the training, yeah.
And when I need an RTO, then I hire an RTO to do that part. So that relieves me.
That's very smart.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's really smart. So when you need someone, you get them in. But the other stuff you do by yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
I think now with this business award, even though you were the finalist, but you were not chosen.
Yeah.
Did you feel down? Or what was your impression on that night?
Yeah. Well, I didn't feel like I lost anything at all. In fact, I gained a lot, because the exposure that this has already given me, I could never even have imagined.
Yeah.
I'm now one of the top 16 businesses run by women in
Australia,
Northern Territory.
Yeah. Mm.
And I came down to five of the finalists in that category. And if you look at the people that I was in that category with, these are women who've been in business for more than 17 years.
Exactly, I saw the names.
Yes, I was like, oh my God, how did I even find my name on a list of these powerful women that I've always looked up to? So if anything, I just feel that I'm very, very fortunate to even be put at the level of that women.
Of those women, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Okay, so as we say, the OceanTVLive.com, we bring you good news. Mahongo Fumbelo, that's the last name, with her business, Born to Win Consulting. She's based in Darwin, as she just told us. She's an Alice, she's going to Perth. Basically, she's in Australia. Mm-hmm. Wherever you are, she's here. Her details are scrolling down your screen. You can contact us or you can call her directly. She's here to help. So now, I think that we're getting to the end of our interview. What would you tell my people? Because I know that a lot of people are watching you now.
All right. Okay. So are they from Africa or?
Yeah. Okay. This station we showcase African talent, African business, like yourself, African sports and artists. Yes, I know that most of our followers are Africans. And how long have you been in Australia anyway? So
I came here like 17 years ago, but
Yeah.
I've been in and out. I used to work in East Timor
okay.
before I came here. So I've been here more consistently, maybe for the last 10, 11 years.
Okay. So, but if you want to give an advice to a new migrant, okay, for them to settle really well in Australia, do you give them how many years, how many months, how many weeks? Just,
There is no time frame. I just believe that the only restriction you have is the restriction you have up there. Sometimes people have some wrong expectations about what is in Australia, like money falling off the trees, a BMW parked in your driveway, and it is not like that. But hard work can eventually get you there.
okay, that's actually a very interesting point that you raised there. Okay, for our people who have refugees background, so they bring them to Australia. Everything is given to them, sort of a housing, basic housing, and then some of those people don't actually move away from that.
Yeah.
Basically, they're expecting everything to be given to them. What advice would you give people like that?
Yeah, I think sometimes, I mean, I'm not here to sort of give advice to anyone, but this is just maybe the way I feel.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong, and like I respect other people's opinions as well. But I know that sometimes people come here and they think this is it. They think that Centrelink money is more money than they could ever get. But actually, it's very, very little money. And the thing with that is that we don't become role models to our children.
Yeah.
I know Africans are very talented people, we're very hardworking, and I hate to see someone living off handouts. I know that Centrelink is there to help. Social welfare is there to help us get to the next step. There is a lot of help that you can get, and you could actually get more money, and even more importantly, be a great role model to your own children. One of the guys that I helped find his first job here in Australia, when he could not speak a word of English, he has built his first house. Moved in, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago into his first house. I'm so proud of him, and I'm so glad that I got the honor to be a coach to him.
Yeah.
And he is proof that you can move away from social welfare and actually get yourself to the next level. I know that his children have got a really great role model. So we can all do that in our own ways. I think there is a great opportunity for us to be the people that we came here to be.
That's very good, and that's Mahongo Fumbelo. And what is the last word would you like to tell our viewers? And Ocean TV Live is very grateful that you accepted to be part of this interview, part of this network. And what is your last word for everyone who's following?
Well, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to come and share my story. I'm a firm believer that Africans are talented. The thing is that success is not necessarily dependent on the color of your skin, how tall you are, how short you are, how fat you are, how skinny you are. I just believe that every African is gifted, and you can be the person that you were created to be. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Don't stop in the phone. Thank you.
I ask for a job, you get me from Ocean.